Hey folks, Black Response here. We are doing another round of the good, the bad, and the weird. We're still working out of this vault case, and let's see what's in it. We looked at that one. This one's next in line. Here we go. We are looking at the Custom Knife Factory Terra, I think is what they call this one. It's a Cenex design. Let's move the case out of the way, and in accordance with prophecy, we start out with measurements and size comparisons. Blade length, we'll smooch over 3 inches, about 8 inches overall. Not a big knife. Thickness, a little chunky on the back side. Let's go this way because that has a bunch of protrusions, less than ½ inch. On this side, as you can see, it's kind of stepped up where that back spacer is, so that if you measure across that, it will be thicker than it actually looks, than it actually is. This is not the first Cenex design we've seen on the in the good, the bad, and the weird. The other one being, where is it? This one, which is the Civivi Buster FG. Mine's got schmutz on it because I use them. But we measured, we must do some size comparisons or the YouTube knife gods will be displeased with us and strike us with boils. Okay, here we go. Size comparisons: smaller than a Sebenza 21, smaller than a Spyderco Manix. Not a big knife. Thickness comparison. There's a Manix, there's the Terra, there's a Sebenza 21. So, it's small, but the handle is just chunky enough that you can get a comfortable grip. We are going to talk about the good, which is things I like about it. The bad, which is things I don't. The weird, things that made it interesting and appealing and made me want to buy it in the first place. Starting out with the good. This was a rare opportunity for, at the time anyway, because this was before the Buster FG came, the Civivi Buster FG came out. This was one of Cenex's first production designs. These knives were originally customs that cost like 10 grand plus. So the chance to get your hands on a Cenex design for, you know, a few hundred was a great opportunity at the time. The finish on that blade is, if that's not a mirror, it's pretty close. Can we see things reflected in it? Maybe. It looks very mirrory. I feel like it's a mirror, or at least it's very reflective of my ceiling light. I'm not seeing myself reflected in it, but that could just be the angle. It feels very reflective. We've got kind of a nice vapor blasted type titanium finish with this little anodized stripe in the middle. We have some weird looking hardware, which we're going to talk about as we go. That doesn't do much. That kind of does something. It is pretty lightweight for how thick it is. So it is not a little brick in your pocket. And it's got that nice kind of sheep's footy reverse tanto vibe on the blade that actually makes it work very nicely for utilitarian purposes. You've got a thumb hole on it and a front flipper. This was, I think, a very early implementation of the front flipper. It's of course become a more popular way of opening knives since then, but this was, I think, my first front flipper. So the good. I like those futuristic aesthetics. I like that neat design. I like the aesthetics, the usefulness. It's Cenex, which you don't see very often. It was very impressive at the time. I had reached out to people who were going to blade shows so they could pick it up for me and ship it to me. This knife was a whole experience for me. The bad is where that experience went bad. It was a dream, then it became a nightmare. The first thing in the bad is this knife is, well, not bad. Let's backtrack. The good, you do not need any kind of bits to take apart this knife. It is a tool-free disassembly. Cenex had a custom that did that, and CKF kind of worked with them to do a production version of that. And this is what we got. I'm not going to do it here, and you'll find out why when we get into the bad. You kind of got to press in on the backspacer, press in, press down. And if you press just right, the pocket clip comes out. And what you'll notice is the shape of the recessed area here, this end of the pocket clip, becomes the tool to loosen the pivot. So that way you can take the rest of the knife apart. And then this slides up and this bar comes out, and it's a whole ordeal. There are videos on YouTube. Just look up CKF Terra and you will find those. I'm not going to make one because that leads us into the bad. This uses loose bearings. Tool-free disassembly, so you're thinking, okay, we don't need any gear to disassemble this. You can just be sitting on your couch and take it apart and wipe it out and put it back together. No, you can't. I was sitting at a desk. I had a little mat placed down. I was taking it apart on a little towel, so I don't lose any little pieces. And I still wound up losing some of the bearings because there were loose bearings in a tool-free disassembly knife. And that is why I don't buy CKF knives anymore. They can suck it. So, yeah, that was an annoying experience, and trying to get it apart was annoying. Dealing with the loose bearings was annoying. Getting it back together was annoying. CKF lost me. Right there. This was only like my second CKF knife, and never looked at their brand again. The weird. They put loose bearings in a tool-free disassembly knife. Tool-free disassembly has become more of a thing. We saw, Cricket CRKT did one. Have we looked at any in our run of good, the bad, and the weird? No, we have not. We have not looked at any of those yet, but they do exist. And I have a couple sitting in cases in various places, but we have not gotten to them yet because they never work out quite right. And it's tool-free disassembly. Sounds like, hey, we're going to make it easy to clean out your knife pivot if it gets gunky. But they always wind up making it harder. So why and how did that become a thing? Were Torx bits that difficult to get? Were makers just tired of people asking for replacement screws after they stripped them out from using the wrong bits? If you know, please tell us in the comments. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please tell me what you think, what you know, what your conspiracy theories are down in the comments. And stay tuned for more. Have a good one. All right, we'd never looked at the blade. Doesn't say anything on there anyway. It doesn't. Oh, wait, there it says something. I cannot read what that says. That's fine. What it says on the blade doesn't matter. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good one.